Hello, Matt here. First of all, Happy New Year, because yeah, it's New Year's morning. On top of that, it's Sunday, so my neighbors are going to love me. And all that because, well, I'm an idiot. Hey, look what's missing. And look who's here. So basically all you do is remove the intake manifold, which is not that hard. There are a few bolts, few nuts, and that's it. The hardest part is actually getting all these wires off, and then connecting them back on will be even harder because I don't know which goes where. But okay, there's just a bunch of them. And then there are the two bolts holding the starter motor. One you access from this side, the other from the other side. How we did it is not with the E12 fan. We did use something. I would like to show you what, but I don't have a clue where we put it. This little boy. It goes easily with this. You only need to have a very good one of these because it needs to be sturdy and it needs to be tight so it doesn't slip on the bolt. Now let's test this buster to see what's going on. We've bench tested the starter motor. It works, it's okay, but yeah, torque converter is stuck. We've even opened the engine to see if maybe the engine is stuck, but no, the insides of the cylinders look like brand new, like they were when we put it together, so it's all good there. But either torque converter or flex plate, we've done something wrong with that. So yeah, we're done for today. Tomorrow is New Year, and what a way to start the year, taking your gearbox off of your engine. See you tomorrow. Alright, first step done. We jacked up the car. And now, to tell you what we need to do. Well, first off, remove this brace back here, which we only recently put on. Then remove the exhaust, complete exhaust, which, you guessed it, we only recently put on. Then we have all these heat shields and prop shaft, which we only recently put on. But okay, cross brace, also this prop shaft for the front. I mean, all of this needs to go off. A lot of things are already off. Now remove this smaller prop shaft. We switch over to the bigger prop shaft, and we're getting ready for the gearbox. Sooner than I thought. Alright, this is where we are at. Oil cooler, gearbox oil cooler, hoses off, smaller propeller shaft off, main propeller shaft off. Now we're ready to lower the cross member. 5 bolts, should be 6, but you know what we did. And then hopefully the gearbox will go down just a tiny bit so we have enough space to go from up here and reach all the bolts we need. Alright, at this point the gearbox is ready to be undone. And I don't know how much you can see, but there is a bunch of Torx, no, not Torx, E's. E10s, E12s, E14s, something like that. And this is how you access them, with very, very long sockets. Now I cannot show you anything better than this because it's a very long gearbox. I will use all the sockets we have and try to work it out. Now this would be a lot easier and I could show you a lot more if I had a lift, but I still don't. So yeah, let's go and break some necks. So we have a joint, 2 short extensions and 2 longer extensions, and we're still a bit short. So time for a rethink. Let's call reinforcements. Okay, while I was waiting for the extensions to get this one out, I managed to get these out. These are down here, so easily accessible. 1, 2. We have this one undone. So there is one more up there, one up there in the middle. I think there are 3 or 4 more left. Also have to remove the catalytic converter mount, whatever this is. So this does not look tight enough, but it doesn't get tighter. Whatever. Yeah, so we have room here. We can play with that some more when needed. Yeah, for now, as I said, I'm waiting for the extensions. Then we'll do this one here, and then we'll try and get those up there. So we have reinforcements here, and yeah, I forgot to film, but the gearbox is already on. We still don't know what was wrong, but I'll talk about it later. We have to put it all together while we still have a bit of daylight, so yeah, let's go. So this car is going to drive me crazy. I've basically taken off the gearbox and set it back up. Not completely, but I don't know. I think the torque converter isn't set up properly. I don't know what else can it be, because the gearbox is sitting flush all the way down here. There's a small gap on the upper side, and the engine turns. Everything is okay. As soon as we tighten all the bolts, and tightening all the bolts, as you've seen, is a bitch because those upper ones are barely accessible, and when we tighten them all up, the engine and the gearbox seize up. I mean, these are, as you can see, basically tightened up, and I just don't know. There's only a small gap here, which you can see now, and now everything turns, everything is okay. As soon as I close this gap, as soon as I torque everything down as it should be, it just gets seized up completely, and we cannot turn the engine, which means we're done. We don't have a daylight anymore. So yeah, it's too dark to do anything. I don't have my brother and my dad came to help me. They brought me the tools, but yeah, they're gone now. They have their own business to do. So yeah, I'm stuck with this, and the gearbox is too heavy for me to lift it alone. One thing I'll do, since the coolant expansion tank was here before and is now there, we need to extend these wires. The connector is already in. It's here, so I'll just route the wires towards with this cable and connect it down there, and there should be one more fault gone when we try to start the car in about a decade or so. Alright, day 3, and we're still no closer to fixing the car than it was when we started. The gearbox is mostly back on. It's held in by 4 or 5 bolts right now. I'll take these off, take the gearbox back off, because, as I said, when we put the gearbox back on the engine, it locks, everything locks up. Right, just to show you, the gearbox is now basically off, so you can turn the engine quite easily. But as soon as I put the bell housing on, it seizes up. I don't know. As I said, probably torque converter. We're taking it down and we'll check it out. What? We dropped the gearbox. Who would have thought? Oh, and that's how we support the engine for it to, yeah, like that. This is the problem, because it fell out and it shouldn't fall out. So basically, I probably didn't put it in the way it should be put in.
That's what she said!
Yeah, this little bitch is finally in. We've measured it. It needs to be around 28 mil, I think. 28 mil is what the flex plate is out of the engine block surface. And this little puppy was, I mean, measuring from the hole, because that's where you measure it, was only 22 mil, because the middle gear wasn't engaging. Well, it wasn't engaging the first time I put it back together, and tightening the gearbox on kind of damaged the teeth on it. a bit of filing action, a bit of jiggling with a improvised tool, and I can tell you it's in now. It's around 30 mil from the surface to the bolt holes, even a bit more. Anyways, torque converter is in. It's in, baby. It's in how it's supposed to be in, and the gearbox can go on the car. And then finally, after gazillion years, I think, maybe a bit more, we can try and start the car, this time for real. So let's wait for the reinforcements, because we cannot put the gearbox back together because it's heavy and there is a confined space down here. And yeah, so all right, now to make sure we are right, because yeah, flex plate was bent. We've straightened it up a bit. Don't ask, I won't tell how we did it, but how we did it, it's not important. How precise we are is what's important now. What does the number say?
3384.
So 33.84 mil. This hole is on the part of the block where I can measure, and it says 32.44. So 1.4 millimeters. I would say that that's a success. Now everything should align perfectly. So time to put it back together. All buttoned up. Prop shaft on. Front prop shaft on. Yeah. All the bolts on the gearbox tightened up, so let's try and start the car. So as you've heard, still no luck. I think we're not getting fuel. I don't hear the fuel pump working. It was working before. What happened? I don't know. Now, first we'll check what we have here. 64 freaking errors. Yeah, we need to erase some of those, and then we'll see what happens. Looks like we fucked something up, because now we're getting the ignition and injection relay fault, something like that. That's a new one. We didn't have that before yesterday, or day before yesterday, when we actually removed the intake manifold. So basically we either blown a fuse, or cut the wire, or connected something. I mean, there's nothing we could connect the wrong way, so the car doesn't want to start again. It does run, as you've seen, but yeah, that's now the problem. And as I said, that wasn't the problem. I never got that fault before. Well, I saw it today, so before we did what we did. So back to the drawing board. So yeah, it's really dark and you won't see shit, but the ISM, whatever it's called, we changed it. It's here on M135i. It's there on 114i. So should have been there, but it's not. But we took this one, which was here once, long time ago, and put it there. And I fucking forgot to film it. But hey, I can film it now. Brake pedal. And press start button. first time. It's not great, but we're moving. So yeah, that's about it. Good news, everyone. The car starts, runs, kinda drives. So that's it. We're leaking a bunch of oil. We forgot to tighten the oil cooler, so yeah, no wonder we're leaking a bunch of oil. I don't care. Sorting it out, that's the next plan. But it's running, it's kind of driving, and I'm a happy little fellow. If you like this one, I know I did. It took us 3 days, New Year's Day. It took us too much time. Honestly, too much time. Dumb mistakes were made by me. Told you, I'm an idiot. What can I do? We fixed it. We found the problem, we've fixed it. And the car, we'll get it running and driving soon. Soon. We're getting there. And then, we'll see if this will truly be the fastest 114i in the world. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.